Okay, so number 5, they're giving us a function, and they want us to find its roots and their multiplicities, which that's just powers. The trick on this one is they don't have, it's specifically right here, they don't have the R by itself in the front of the parenthesis like they're supposed to, right? So we have to change that form a little bit. We have to change that form. So, yeah. Okay, so that's a little bit tricky. Let's do that. So let me bring the function down here, and let's see if we can do that. So you're supposed to get it to be in the form where you have R alone. So what I need to have here, I'm good with this one. I'm good with the one at the back. But in the middle, right here, I need to have like R alone. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to need to factor out, I can take out the minus 15 like that. Or no, what would go in there? So I need to factor out. Does everybody see why you might be wondering why in the world are you doing that, Mr. Aaron? Well, the formulas that we were given always have R alone in the front, don't they? Right? Like let me see if I can find them. Where are they? Here, let me come in here. Let me show you what I mean. This is something we do all the time in math and science. And the higher you get in the math science world, the less they're going to really tell you about it. They're just going to assume you get it because we do it all the time. So you want to start really getting it on your own. I'm going to take the time to show every detail, but I'm warning you, if you go higher in math and science, they're just going to assume you know what they're doing. So what do you mean assume they know what you know what they're doing? Well, see the form, look at the formula right here. It's x minus x minus x minus. So the formula always has x in the front, not a number times x, but just x. Or right here is even better. X minus the root, x minus x minus. Notice they don't have 3x minus root 1 or 7x minus root 1. They just have plain x minus root 1, plain x minus root 2 to some power called the multiplicity. So you think, oh, okay, yeah, so they got to have a plain x in the front of those parentheses. Now, we don't have that. We have it in the front, we have it in the back, but right here we have a number. What are you going to do? You got to take that out. Okay, so do you just take it out like that? And then you just go ahead and put the third power? And then just bring this one down? Is that correct? The way I have it? No, no way. Why not? You tell me, what's wrong about that? Why is that not true? Remember, we're supposed to be doing plastic surgery. We're supposed to be removing the wrinkles, make it look different without being different. But that right there that I just did not only looks different, but is different. That's a different problem. I wrecked it. Why? What's wrong with that? Do you see it?
You would multiply the negative 1 to the 15. I mean,
yeah, right. Yeah, if you took that thing and multiplied it, it would be a problem. If I was to take that minus 15 and go boom, boom, what would you get right now? Minus 15R minus 15, right? Because minus 15 times plus 1 is minus 15. Why is that a problem? Well, that is not what it was. It was never negative 15R minus 15, was it? That's just not true. Well, okay, well, then what do we do? Well, we've got to make it, we got to change that 1. What does that 1 have to be? Do you see it now? Everybody see what I need to put there? Minus 115. How did I come up with that? Well, because that simply works. Watch. Minus 15 times R is what? Minus 15R. And then minus 15 times minus 1. What is minus 15 times minus 115? What is that? Well, 2 negatives is positive, and 15 over 1, these cross cancel, positive 1. See how that'll go back? See how that's correct? Here's the check. I'm checking that I did that correctly. I did now. Do you see how this is just plastic surgery? Meaning we remove the wrinkles. It looks different, but it's not really any different. We can't change the problem. We can't change what the value actually is. We can only change the way it looks. So minus 15 times R, and minus times minus is plus, then the 15 goes into 15 to go back to plus 1, doesn't it? Everybody see that? So this has got to be minus 1/15 there, doesn't it? All right. Now we're in position to find the roots. What do you mean? Well, the roots, now look back at the notes again. Look at the notes. So again, this is practice, not just with this particular thing. Let this generally instruct you. If your future is STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, anything in that field, this is, you'll deal with a lot of formulas. So let me help you with how you deal with math and science formulas. Do you see, when they write a formula like this for you, let's look more closely at this. When they write formulas like this, they'll do it all the time. You are to understand what they're communicating to you is they're saying, hey, whatever comes after the minus sign, whatever comes after the minus sign, if you have a plain X in the front, then whatever comes after the minus sign is the first root, second root, the third root. That's what they're saying when they write that formula like that. They're saying those are the roots, R1, R2, R3. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that means we can look really closely at what comes after the roots. After the minus sign, what comes after? Minus 7. So that's one of our roots. Oh, careful. I just blew it. It's 7. It's not minus. You might think, yeah, it is. Right there, it's minus 7. Careful, careful. Like, I wasn't careful enough. It's just 7. Why? Because, let me write it more carefully. What did the formula just say here? Look real, at math and science formulas, look really carefully. It's X minus a number. X minus a number, X minus a number, right? See how that number, minus 3 comes after another minus sign, and minus 1 comes after another minus sign, and regular 3 comes after another minus sign. Do you see that? You have to follow the format of whatever formula they give you. So coming back here again then, let me write it really carefully. I'm using R instead of X, but it's the same thing. R minus, and then we'll put our minus 15. R minus, but I'm kind of getting small in my writing. And R minus. Ooh, bumping things here. Okay, so I want you to tell me what goes right there, what goes right there, and what goes right there, because those are the roots. What goes right there? Minus 7? No, because that would make it plus 7. It was never plus 7, was it? Not minus 7. Regular 7. Regular. Let me change my color. Regular 7. What goes right there? 1/15. Not minus 1/15. If you put minus 1/15, the two minuses would become plus. It was never plus. It's regular 1/15, right? Regular 7. Regular 1/15. And what goes right there? Regular 4. Again, not a minus 4. So those are our three roots. Those are the roots. The roots are the numbers that come after the minus signs in the formulas. They do not include the minus sign itself. So the roots are 7, 115, 4. The roots are the numbers that come after the minus signs. Now, let me help with that. Oh, and the multiplicities, those are their powers. So what are the powers? This is a first power, third power, fourth power. First, third, fourth. Done. Now, let me help. What if, let me do a what if. What if they had made this from the beginning +4, +4? Well, then I would have to rewrite this as r minus a -4, wouldn't I? You see that? And my root would actually be -4. Do you see that? If this had been +4 here, remember the game we're playing. The game in math and science, the game we're playing is make what you have look like the general formula. Plastic surgery, I call it, just to help you think that we're giving it a certain look. That's what they do with plastic surgery, right? Remove the wrinkles, give it a certain look. So that's what we're doing here. It's what you always have to do in math and science. So when they give you some kind of a formula, like they did right here, and they're telling you, hey, have x minus and then a root. X minus x. That means you got to have x and minus, and then whatever comes next, that's your root. See that? So then, therefore, what do you do if they had plus here? Well, then you got to rewrite it as r minus, and then whatever comes next, that's your root. And that's still +4, isn't it? Double negative, I haven't changed anything. I made it look different. I removed the wrinkles, but it's the same person. That's just a fancy way, like plastic surgery, fancy way to say +4, isn't it? And you have to write it. Why? Because they made the formula that way. They could have made it with plus, and then we'd have to make everything with plus. It doesn't matter. Whatever way they do it, we have to make it look that way. That's just how math science formulas work. They pick one way of showing you the formula, and then you've got to make every problem you're given look like that formula so you can identify the pieces of the puzzle. To be able to tell what R1, R2, R3 are, you have to get them after a minus sign. So if they had made this +4, I would have to bring in a -4. That's still +4, and then I can tell what my root is. It's the thing after the first minus sign. It would be -4. But in our problem, we didn't have any of that. I hope I'm not confusing you by doing all that. We didn't have that. We had minus. We had minus already there. So ours is just a plain 4. So our roots are 7, 115, plain 4. You might wonder, by the way, about what about this -15 in the front here? Who cares? I don't care about that. I just care that in this parenthesis, I have a plain R right in the front, just like that. So I got it right. There's the three roots, and there's their multiplicities. Questions on that one?